Senior EU parliamentarians have told NDTV it is regrettable that the Italian Marines issue caused the EU to delay a response to the dates for Prime Minister Modi's visit, saying they will raise the issue back home and urge for new dates soon. The MPs say they are disappointed and discomforted that the India-EU summit will now not happen next month as was widely expected. The summit was put off after the European Union did not respond to the dates proposed by the Indian government, reportedly after Italy raised objections over the Marines issue.
Well, an EU parliamentary delegation is in town just as the headlines here in India have been about the fact that the India-EU summit is not going to take place as was widely expected next month because the EU was too late to respond to India's requests for dates for Mr. Modi to visit Brussels next month. Joining us now are two key members of the European delegation. First, Mr. Auden is here. He's the chair of the parliamentary delegation. Mr. Auden, you said that you were discomforted and disappointed that the summit is not taking place. Can you elaborate? Do you know why this happened?
Well, there might well be some background reasons. We as parliamentarians want to see a good, strong, positive relationship between Europe and India. We'd fully expected to come here on the eve of an EU-India summit. So we were very disappointed to find that it had been cancelled. And we think not for good enough reasons, a bilateral problem which should not have been raised to the level of engagement between the European Union and India. So that we are very disappointed, but we come with a very positive message. We want to take forward our engagement, and we're doing all that we can, and we will be inviting the Speaker of the Lok Sabha on behalf of the President of the European Parliament to come to the European Parliament, and that's one step.
So are you confirming that the issue of the Italian Marines is in fact what caused this delay in the response? Ms. Nina Gill is also here with us. She's also part of the delegation.
I think it would be very regrettable if that issue had played any part in it. I've been arguing for there to be this EU-India summit and was very much looking forward to welcoming Prime Minister Modi to Brussels. I think, we will continue to try and insist that the High Representative and the Commission President, make themselves available. I think it's a situation where India got off to mark quicker than the EU. We do have a new Commission, and they've only been in place 3 or 4 months, and it is really regrettable that there was this delay in responding. I think we should have responded quickly. But we certainly, as European Parliament, will be putting a case forward to say we need to have this summit this year, and whatever the reasons for the delays, it's important for the citizens of both the European Union and for India. We are the largest trading partners. And
absolutely. But Mr. Auden, are you essentially saying that this bilateral issue of the Italian Marines then has regrettably held up this summit, and is this something that you plan to take up as well when you go back?
It would seem that it was an issue in the background there somewhere, but clearly there were delays in responding to the Indian Prime Minister, and we can understand that he was no longer able to adhere to the sort of date that had been proposed. But as Nina says, we will be insisting in Brussels that we find a new date as quickly as possible. Just on the issue of the Marines, by the way, of course this is an important issue. We have great respect for the Indian legal system. We would hope this is a matter that can be resolved quickly, and I think that would be to the benefit of all concerned. But this is not an issue which should intrude on the overall relationship between the European Union and India.
I have to say I was very surprised when I heard that this issue could have played a part, and I heard about that here. I think the only reason people are assuming that is because the nationality of the High Representative, who happens to be Italian. I have said that never before has a bilateral issue been played at EU level in such a way.
And as you say, nor should it.
Nor should it, and it would be extremely regrettable if it exactly.
Thank you to both of you for your time. This is Nidhi Razdan reporting from New Delhi for NDTV.